A violent confrontation outside the ring at a WWE training center in Florida. A deputy shot a man who has been accused of stalking a female wrestler. I'm joined by 48 Hours Crimesider reporter Graham Case to talk about this. So, Graham, what happened?
Yesterday, employees for the WWE called the sheriff's deputies near Orlando because they thought Armando Montalvo had a knife in his hand while he was in their parking lot. Montalvo is a person who they've actually had a few run-ins with at this facility over the last month. So when deputies got there, they were prepared for a man with a knife, and police said that they showed up with their guns drawn, and they at first confronted Montalvo, and one deputy said that Montalvo began to make his way towards the deputy retreated 75 to 100 feet. But as Montalvo closed the distance, at some point the deputy fired a shot and injured Mr. Montalvo.
Wow. And what are authorities and cops saying about Mr. Montalvo? What do we know about him?
We know a little bit. He's actually had a bunch of run-ins in just the last month at this specific facility. Deputies say he's obsessed with at least one of these female wrestlers who works out at the facility, and he's posted a series of kind of bizarre YouTube videos. In one of them, he puts on wrestling makeup and actually seems to put his own feces onto the building.
Wow. Yeah. Well, and so at one point he was subject to Florida's Baker Act. What is that?
The Baker Act is a law that says that you can be involuntarily committed for mental health treatment, and he was at one point in the last month committed, but not for very long.
Wow, okay. And let's talk about this. There's another incident that happened in Rhode Island at another WWE event. A wrestler who had his back turned, and there was somebody in the audience or in the crowd.
That's exactly right. This was last Thursday during WWE.
We're looking at it now. Wow. Taken down by a security guard with a move.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It looks like he kind of just hopped the fence and started to make his way towards Dean Ambrose. He's one of the wrestlers right there. And the bodyguards jumped in, but not until you can see he gets his arm on him first.
And so, do we know anything about who this guy was, or was it just a fan who was just overzealous, or?
Yeah, it's just a fan, but I think it speaks to the kind of craze that really WWE fans tend to have. Not all of them, but there's kind of this, it's like a whole different world in terms of how fans tend to embrace the sport and kind of get into the different characters and the different people involved with the WWE.
All right, Graham Case, thank you very much. Appreciate it. You can follow updates on this story and read up on other crime news of the day at cbsnews.com/Crimesider.